want to ask you a question. Do you want to keep on living your life this way? Over-explaining yourself comes from childhood trauma in most cases. You are never going to over-explain yourself ever again. You feel like you've been quieted, or you feel like you weren't allowed to show real emotions that you have, or you were shut down when you had an idea. Like, for example, I'm the youngest. A lot of my life was siblings saying, just shutting down the ideas I had because I was the youngest. Found myself in adulthood over-explaining myself and telling people what I mean again and again, like in arguments, in relationships, in friendships, all that. Over-explaining myself and wanting the person to truly hear me, wanting the person to truly see where I'm coming from. I really came to a point where I was like, this is exhausting. Why am I doing this? I kept over-explaining myself to people that went out of their way to be a contrarian, where they're like, well, it's not even like that. It's not even like that. Or always looking for some type of contrary response. Anything that I said just wasn't the answer. And I got really tired of being that person. You can start today. The beautiful thing about being a human being, and the beautiful thing about the choice that God gave us, each and every one of us, is that we can choose which path we want. You don't have to keep on going in your life and being the person that's just like always at everyone's beck and call, always over-explaining yourself. When you over-explain yourself, you're easily manipulative. It's such a symptom of a people pleaser, just over-explaining yourself. But you're never gonna do that ever again, because the one thing that you're going to develop is introspection. Introspection is when you look inward, and that's where self-awareness is born. That's where your growth is. A lot of us, we don't like to sit in the mess that we're in. We like to avoid it. We like to dull our mind and numb our mind. It's 2026. You're not going to numb your mind anymore. You're not going to go to that or this device or this substance. You're going to feel your pain. You're going to sit in your pain. You're going to soak it. And you're going to feel that discomfort. You're going to feel that, why is this happening to me? Why am I always over-explaining myself? Or why do I have these toxic traits? Why do I have these toxic traits about myself that I cannot stand? You have the power to change that. You do. You do. And I hope you know that. I hope you know that. Never over-explain yourself again. You know, when I started meeting people that truly got me, got my personality, understood where I came from, I realized that I was over-explaining myself to no end. I shouldn't have even been doing that in the first place. When I started meeting people, I just said one thing and they understood me. I didn't have to explain myself. I didn't over-analyze the situation. I realized that I didn't have to over-explain myself to people when I started being around people that understood me, understood my personality, got me, the people that get it. And then I started to get surprised when I would say something and I didn't have to over-explain myself. They weren't reading into what I was saying. I didn't have to again reiterate the same thing, explain it 7 different times. I started to marvel at that. You could have friendships and you could have people in your life that you don't have to over-explain yourself to. They're gonna understand you the first time you say something. They're not gonna read into a tone. That has to do with just putting up with people that we shouldn't anymore. Putting up with people that don't want to understand us, that don't really like us. You know, we're probably putting up with people that don't like us for real. That there's something about us that they don't like and that they tolerate us. It's very possible that you can have someone in your life and they don't even like you, but they're smiling in your face and they're tolerating you. But it comes out in little moments where you have to over-explain yourself. It comes out in little moments. The real them comes out when you have to over-explain yourself, going out of their way to misunderstanding you, contrarian type of friend, and it's just exhausting. And I want to ask you a question. Do you actually want to keep on living your life over-explaining yourself to people, being in friendships where they tolerate you, they don't even like you, just feel empty? You feel like your people are out there, but you have no idea in finding them. Level up our life emotionally so well and so real, and face every single emotion to where physically it's nothing. It's no biggie. Being someone who's over-explained their whole life to people, just wanting people to like them and being a people pleaser, it really burnt me out. And it made me realize that, oh, I'm on the brink of just crashing out because I have allowed myself to be this doormat that people walk all over. I've allowed myself to be around people that didn't really like me, that just tolerated me. My bright light to just like dim and dim and dim to fit around the people I was with. No, you're not doing that anymore. You're going to get introspection. You're going to be self-aware, and you're going to take responsibility for every single thing that has happened into your life, regardless of what type of childhood trauma you've had. Every single human being walking on this earth has gone through something. Don't let that define you. Don't let that define you. This is the period where you're going to sit in what you really feel like, and you're going to heal, and you're going to feel those raw emotions, and you're going to feel it. I want to just remind you that, like I always say in my videos, like today might be a tough day. Today you might step one of healing, and it's not easy, and it's going to be very dark before it gets bright, but it's not always going to be like that, and I hope you know that. I'm Ashley, and this is Ashley on Repeat, and we're going to get into the Good Girl series, the Boundaries series, how to level up our life emotionally so well and so real, face every single emotion to where physically it's nothing, it's no biggie. The real healing begins on the inside. But thank you so much for watching. I have other videos in the Good Girl series and the Boundary series. Be sure to click on that playlist. Thank you so much for watching. You made it to the end. I appreciate you, and I hope that you know healing is possible. Healing from anything, coming back and bouncing back from anything is possible. So I hope you know that.